Greetings, have joined us. This broadcast. So this is going to be different. Going to HAARP, NASA, NSA. I was going to say NASA. NSA, Los Alamos. It's called Zeta Gray type of laboratory. No surprise there, right? And Dragon Realities. I'm not sure how far I'm going to go to Dragon Realities. So I'm going to do like something like a remote view, you can say, of HAARP, NASA, NSA. I keep going to say anyway. I'm not gonna keep going. Yeah, I mean, you can go deeper into this stuff, but you don't know what kind of censorship you're going to get. You can just keep connecting. That doesn't mean you have to keep connecting to it all the time, but you can intuitively tap into these things and go deeper and deeper, little by little. And other people are doing the same type of connections and break through. But we'll see what we can get here. Yeah, I haven't done HAARP for a long time. NSA I haven't done any of these in ages, so we'll see where this goes. Jeez. Let's see here. Quick here. We have avatar.com. We have private sessions. We have a shop here. I'm at the 1st. July 1st, same situation here. We have the webinar sign up. It's going to be a webinar Saturday also. I haven't put the link out there yet. We have the social network, Rabbit, behind the scenes, and the dating site. And in case you're not sure what I'm talking about here, nothing weird about that. Nice little Archon building. So you have HAARP here looking all friendly. Yeah, this looks friendly. Yeah, they're using this stuff to put thoughts into people's minds too. Removing thoughts, but even basically the mental agenda. Of course, it's not just weather, because they can affect us mentally and it can affect the weather. So yeah, so we can cause weather ourselves, especially if we were being manipulated on a massive level. I believe they have other facilities around the world too. It's not just there. Of course, they are connected to earthquakes, and of course, they're just saying they're monitoring, but yeah, I seriously doubt that. I mean, a lot of this is done in the 4th dimension, especially the mind manipulation, because there's only so much abilities they can do here in the physical, but still, they can still do quite a bit overall. Of course, yeah, it's all in the name of science. Of course, it's more of the shadow side. I mean, it's in Alaska. It's like they're just being around this facility is not very healthy. Of course, not many people are around it, but either does it say Fairbanks? Yeah, it's still not a good vibe. Even those that are working there are almost like radioactive to a certain degree. Maybe not fully, but yeah, it's not good stuff in any form or. Jeez. Is that the? Yeah, that looks nice and lovely. Yeah, there's nothing good about any of this. Los Alamos, of course, that's the Zeta Gray laboratory. Of course, that looks nice and pretty also. So I believe they do cloning there somewhere, or they have some kind of. I mean, this plays a big part in just controlling the country in general, because they do a lot of chemical. Yeah, they just do. Of course, it's a chemical plant, Pratt. I mean, they did the atomic bomb in some area like this, so. Yeah, it affects our food. It once again affects our minds. But I feel like they have a connection to cloning on different levels. Of course, they're not going to go into that. So Los Alamos and that's a Zeta, mostly a Zeta Gray, and there's reptilians there, but it feels like that's what the Zetas do least the darker Zetas do their operations. Also, a lot of time traveling energies here too. Heads of state go here. Of course, they're not going to talk about that publicly. Of course, they don't talk about this place at all publicly usually. I mean, even people living there probably don't get the best vibes from it. You're gonna wonder why. It's like being around, yeah, it's like being around the NSA basically. Yeah, there's a lot of Archon energies here. I mean, none of this stuff's healthy. So I'm not sure when this is all going to start to evaporate from our reality, but yeah, they're not, it's not, yeah, they're like doing reverse engineering of us. Of course, you have the Cayman Islands. This is not on my title, but this is like a, might as well call it government islands. Yeah, the Queen definitely has a lot of energies here. A lot of the Queen's money is there. Of course, it's being laundered. There's a lot of money laundering done there of government money. So, of course, they're hiding it where they're getting a lot of it from, which is a lot of it's from drugs and things like that. Of course, you're not going to hear that. You know, they find out the Queen's a drug dealer. Of course, there's no way to prove that. But, you know, I think that all these governments are connected to some kind of drug dealing of some sort. I mean, you just tap into the vibrations of it. I mean, obviously it's not easy to get, you know, proof, but doesn't mean you still can't tap into it. And eventually that, you know, because a lot of people here obviously are not going to go this route. It's like, they're going to be called normal and just listen to 80s music, and that's fine. I feel like these people that are running these facilities, the NSA, HAARP, and all that, obviously they know they're kind of criminal, but they put on their, you know, their ties and their whatevers, and they look all professional, but and deep inside, you know, they're scumbags. I mean, some people might feel like they're doing something good. There's probably good, it's good at everything, but there's a lot of garbage there too. Mostly it's garbage. It's just evil, basically. All these facilities, HAARP, NSA, Los Alamos, just basically evil for the most part. I mean, depends on how you want to look at evil, you know, or look at it from a different perspective. How they're running humanity and then the mental state here. So NSA, and I didn't put NSA here, but you know, the picture of it. Of course, they're connected to cloning also, because so for NSA they're gathering data on us all the time, so they can build like what a person is and all that, like the, you know, what they eat and all that, or whatever they can gather. So if they're going to clone somebody, they can take that information. Obviously, what reality they do that in, is it the fourth dimension or what? How? I'm just going to say what I'm feeling from it. Take it or whatever. Either way, they can take that information and use it for cloning. So they wonder why they're doing this on us, is so they can switch us out if they need to, especially if you're causing a problem. So if I start talking about cooking or something all of a sudden, you know, I guess that means I've been switched. So, or have a cigarette addiction or something like that. Or have addiction to pancakes or something. So yeah, I've definitely got a new clone in. Yeah, let's just divert from all of this and just talk about something else. Of course, NSA have a lot of connections to Hillary Clinton. The Clintons are very connected to NSA, big time. Of course, the Bidens are also. I feel like the Clinton clan is definitely. Feels like NSA actually helped develop the Clinton clan, the families. And the NSA is no different than the CIA in a lot of ways too. So the reason I'm bringing all this up is, you know, you tap into it on a, you know, as long as it don't get censored, should be okay. I mean, you're not doing any violence or anything like that. You're just tapping into it. It's another way for them to not hide their. I mean, you can't hide forever. I mean, if more people take this stuff seriously on an intuitive level, not be afraid of it. Of course, some intuitives are connected to the Pentagon, especially if you live by the Pentagon. Obviously, that's not a place you want to take your kids or anything like that. It's just freaking dark It's another axis of evil. um, with HAARP, yeah, it's connected to cloning also, but it's more connected to creating timelines, manipulating our reality. Of course, you can say the archons are very connected to that. On such a level of just don't care about anything. I think I've connected this before. Just don't care about human life. Don't care about anything. Just control. That's not just HAARP, but that's you can add that to all these government anythings. And this is worldwide too. Of course, not all governments are completely evil, but most of them are, and they know they are too. They know they are. Of course, they justify darkness. That's why they have armies and stuff to protect them. But they know deep inside what they're doing is wrong. Of course, you can lie to yourself all day long. There's a lot of that. I mean, especially when you have someone naive in the military, which is normal when they feel like they're doing the right thing. But those that are higher up know they're doing things they should not be doing. And once again, that's worldwide. I believe China's. Say what you want about China, they're trying to protect themselves because they feel like they're going to get invaded. They're not perfect, but they feel like the others are trying to, obviously, right? Especially through spies, which we never hear about for obvious reasons. Let's see. HAARP vibrations. Yeah, it's I believe it's, yeah, Chile is a lot of their. I feel like they have a facility there. Yeah, but it might be underwater in Chile, somewhere around the Pacific. It feels like it's underwater. It might be underground, but it feels like it's more underwater. Of course, in Alaska, of course, HAARP has. I believe other connection. Of course, yeah, they have like little satellite facilities they don't talk about. I believe a lot of them are underwater. Even in Britain, around there somewhere. At least that's the vibe I'm getting. I mean, you can't prove anything once again. Um, let's see. Los Alamos, NSA. Of course, NSA. The other reason why it was developed is for politicians to either keep an eye on them or to get some dirt on them, and if they need to go after an enemy or something like that. That's what mostly what it's built for. So, I mean, it's for regular people, but I mean, it's got to find whatever they manufacture, like a terrorist or something like that. But and they do manufacture it. It's somebody does. They gotta have something to do. I mean, they have these news organizations. They gotta give them something to do. So, I mean, you can just see it on the surface. You don't believe any of this stuff, but you can see the propaganda and the media are trying to create news, obviously. And of course, the mainstream news has a lot of government officials connected to it and the higher up. So he's funding it. They don't want their names anywhere for obvious reasons, but they are funding it in some form or I feel like they're getting government money. Some of them are. Yeah, no surprise there. Why would there be a surprise in any of this? Something about interesting. So with Los Alamos, sounds freaking gross, but they have somewhere. I mean, I don't know where. Maybe the fourth dimension or like a human suit. They can put on a human, clothing, so they look like a human. Somebody's using it somewhere. I know it sounds like science fiction, but like I say, I'm just tapping what I'm picking up there. Yeah, where they can even an alien being. It's even on an alien ship, they can have an actual human skins that they can wear. I don't know how they put it on, but when they connect to it, they can look human and pretty much come off as a human overall. Something out of science fiction, but are you surprised by any of this? No. That's nothing new anyway, technically. Yeah, human skin suits. Yeah, lovely. We'll go into the dragon realities just for some higher vibes. course, even the dragon realms, there's a lot of cloning there also. We're just not seeing it here. I mean, they don't want us to see how they're doing things, but even in the dragon realms, there's I don't see where they're doing it, how they're doing it. I just feel at least they're feeling the effects of it. So these like HAARP affects Agartha. And when using these weather technologies, especially when they're messing with us, of course the media messes with us with propaganda and gets us all aggravated and all of that, which creates weather, which is different. I don't know how they do that. I mean, overall, but it's like they put these like we're manifesting it. Not always, but like some people are always afraid of I mean, like deep shit. Like we had that storm last week, and people that were nowhere near it were terrified of it. It's like, geez, really? I mean, you're nowhere near this thing, but you find a reason to be scared. So that's another program. So it makes sense. I mean, yeah, they keep our energy at such a low frequency. They can create weather here and create whatever they want, whatever reality they want, as long as you have fear built into it. We're here to remove the fear, but it's not as easier said than done. Even the reptilians here that are they get sick themselves. They're making us sick, but they make themselves ill. So they have a massive turnaround. That's why I feel reptilians are actually retaliating against this because they don't want this to happen here anymore. But nobody's really connected to their energy because people are afraid of reptilians. They don't like reptilians for obvious reasons. But I feel like there are some here that are retaliated that want nothing to do with this anymore. They've been a part of the system of programming us, but now they're trying to they want us to break free of it. And some Zetas are along with it too. Of course, a lot of the Zetas have lost their humanity. I mean, they've been so. I feel like some of the Zetas here are causing trouble here. Have been so manipulated like us, but in their own way, where they're just a robot. Yeah, they're just so. They're kind of like they have a soul, but not much of one. Yeah, when they've been weaponized like we have been, so things will change eventually. I don't know. Some Zeta energies might as we shift our vibration to more of a higher frequency, we no longer allow these controls happening here. And that's happening, but not on a massive scale because people aren't taking this stuff too seriously because, it's easier to be programmed and who wants to let go of that. But as we start letting go of all this, even Zeta, I feel the Zetas will be seen, of course, any being for that matter, but Zeta facilities, bases can be seen through the third eye at least. But even seeing, it depends on where you are. Yeah, because they have like a grid to keep these beings hidden here, or they're in a different vibration, but they use technologies to keep themselves hidden, so we don't see them. So yeah, you can call that whatever you want. There is a certain type, like a mothership energy, like a massive control system here. So there's probably several of them here. I mean, I felt there's one here. It's by the water, by one of the bridges here. But I only saw it for like an instant. So it's like they have their own. Let's put this. Always, take this for wherever you want. It's like they have satellites in other dimensions, like to control our reality, but they keep the alien energies hidden here. Yeah, like they're built into the ground, something like that. Kind of like a 5G type of thing, but it's for keeping them away from us. Something like that. You can take that or take it or leave it. Yeah, if you can tap into it, it exists somewhere. For dragon realities, of course, the dragons don't care much for what's happening here, but they know that humanity has to go through this, so they help them wherever they can. But they have to. A lot of these elemental beings, they help, but they stand back. It's like we got to figure things out. If you want to figure things out, you want to open things up, they can help, but only to a certain extent. Because we have to figure a lot of this out for ourselves. And basically, if it becomes all of this becomes part of basic conversation. We don't have all the answers. There's so many answers anyway, different realities. It goes on and on, but People talk about sports, they talk about finances, they talk about all the spiritual, whatever it's here, all the different layers of it, and just allow your imagination to connect. People feel like they're being manipulated or whatever. Even if you're being manipulated, you're still seeing something. I mean, you're still connected to something. I mean, even if it's wrong and you clear out your vibration, it's still what you're seeing exists somewhere. So yeah, just they can't interfere. I don't feel like the elementals are going to show themselves. For some people, they'll show to those people that are very elemental. Fairies, fairy godmother. They do exist here, better for worse. Dragon people that are here. They can usually tap into the Earth's energy and see these beings a little bit easier. Just like some people can connect to Pleiadians and so forth. Just remember, it's just the way you're designed. Or you're just completely blocked on all of everything. There's different reasons. It's just there's not is a different reason for everybody why we're all blocked. We're blocked for our own safety, you can say, because this stuff can get really heavy. So those that are the leaders of these places, like HAARP, NSA, NASA. I keep want to say at NASA, but and Los Alamos. Those that are controlling it. I feel some of those people are aliens. I mean, they might be human incarnations, but some of them, maybe not all of them, are very alien connected. Some of it might be from Orion. Well, I'll be surprised there. Especially Los Alamos because Los Alamos is so much into chemical warfare on us. Of course, it's so complicated, we don't understand it. I mean, it feels like Los Alamos, they have had alien specimens there. Like, I got an image of like a Zeta gray arm, like a skeleton or something. So they have gotten stuff there. Some like very, very locked down version, it might be underground possibly. But where it's so secluded from the rest of it. But there are where they have found bones of alien beings, and it feels like they are doing testing and things like that, from what I can feel. Of course, you go by what I mean. Obviously, I got no proof here, but at least we're putting out the vibration for it. It feels like Zeta. I don't know about reptilians. I think reptilians, they find a way to keep themselves hidden. I wouldn't be surprised if they didn't find any type of alien skeleton of all types. I imagine I'm not sure if it's in Los Alamos. It feels like Russia has some kind of knowledge, or some part of Russia, like once again, like in Siberia or something. Like it was quite a very secret, obviously secret, where they have some alien artifacts, but they're actually bone structures of alien beings. That's a vibe I'm getting. Definitely. I mean, how many people go to Siberia? I mean, they're not gonna be able to find this place anyway. From it feels like. I mean, like I said, I'm just putting it out there and take it for wherever you want. I don't normally connect to stuff like that. I mean, from crashes, from ship crashes, from wherever, who knows? But it does feel like there is some. I don't know about Pleiadians. It's not making it clear about Pleiadian, like other Syrians. It's not making itself clear. Of course, I believe they have found mermaids, skeleton structure mermaids. They're not making it public though. Yeah, yeah, the skeleton structure of skeleton body parts of alien beings. So last almost, I feel like somewhere they found something like that there. It's probably underground, but once again, yeah, just if you can tap into it. They think they got the world all figured out, and the beings that are controlling society, and they pretty much do for right now. But their days can be numbered anytime. I mean, when more people are wanting to go deep in these things, it doesn't, like I say, it doesn't mean you have to go every day into it. but going at an intuitive level, just tapping into it. Like remote viewers here, because I just got a vibe from one of them. I don't know if they're remote viewing me, possibly. Even they have, their limits and everything, but they can see the future. They can even see the future of the demise of the governments themselves. Obviously, they're not too happy about that, but some of them do. Some of them see it. Of course, they're going to Mars and wherever, but they also see future timelines where the government is not as powerful as it is right now. It's just it falls apart from the top somewhere. But the time is we're not there quite yet. It'd be nice if we were, but yeah. I mean, I would say what created our government, yeah, created the Nazi Party and all that. So no surprise there, right? Yeah, it was like alien Nazis basically, and they, take it or leave it. No surprise there. Yeah, a lot of Nazis. It does feel like Nazis are on alien ships somewhere. Now, if they're from our world or they're from somewhere else, some of them are from somewhere else. And they're not all Nordic beings either. They're a little bit of every different races. So, I know you have the Zeta Greys, you have your Pleiadians, and you have your alien Nazis. It's like I don't normally connect to that, but I definitely feel the vibrations of it. Yeah, man. You can say like, yeah. So if going to alien Nazis, that would go into like a Atlantean slash Lemurian kind of a poisoned bloodline, rotten. I would say that's help facilitate our reality here. At least a big part of it, which is nothing new. Imagine heard that before. Yeah, when their bloodline is just poisoned by I get lust, greed, power, of course, but their own satisfaction. They only care about themselves. Boy, we see that here. That's for sure. And these are like the elitists, the alien, like an alien Nazi slash, yeah, Atlantean Lemurian energies. Now, are they going to be seen here? Now, they do shapeshift, but not very well sometimes because their energies are such a low vibration. It does feel like those type of beings are on ships. Some of them appear as reptilian, but they can take any appearance they want. They're very extremely arrogant. I haven't tapped into anything like that before. I mean, I've known something like that exists, but nothing like that. Yeah, where they even, I would say they kind of wear kind of like a costume, like a Nazi thing, but maybe not exactly, but they do wear kind of like robes and they're kind of like royalty, elite, and things like that, where they feel like they have the know it all and everything. Some of them have elongated heads, where the heads are larger, and they're just out of their freaking minds. You can say they're from Orion, you can say them from wherever they are, but that's the vibe I'm getting. Yeah, it feels like their heads are a little bit larger. They are on ship. I don't feel like they're on. Some of them might be on a planet, but most of them are on ship because they're disliked by a lot of beings. A lot of beings hate their guts. They're so arrogant, but they find a way to manipulate our reality where they can stay safe. It's like, don't mess with us or we'll screw your Earth. So I know it sounds weird, but is it that far fetched? Well, it's like they have the controls of how to mess with us. It's like they have like a computer keypad or whatever you want to call it, and they can just mess with us whenever they feel like it. And we buy into it because we're not opening up to how things are done here. So I mean, does it sound all that far fetched? I mean, look how controlled society is. I mean, you have the good life, you live in wild, wild land, and then you get cancer or whatever. And, I mean, whatever. I mean, you live in fantasy land. That's fine, but we're on a planet in space. There's got to be something else here. And if you allow more of course, they're always knocking down our intuitive connections because they don't want us to connect to anything, obviously. And when you start connecting, you connect to crazy shit. That doesn't mean it's not there. It's just so nuts. We're programmed here not to believe any of it. So, but that will change eventually. We'll be able to manifest. I mean, we're trying to manifest all this so we can have some proof. And we're working towards it. Just, I don't know. I mean, even if you had like like an alien like skeleton that's dead, is anybody going to believe it? But I mean, I think they already have that already that's been made public here and there, but people don't believe it. So it just hasn't been delivered right. I don't know. It's really hard to say when that's going to start to unravel. I do believe they have like alien, like reptilian, body parts, stuff like like skeleton structures. I think they have a lot of stuff from a lot of different beings, actually, somewhere. Even in Egypt, it feels like. Fucking somewhere in Egypt, maybe at least in the Egyptian area, maybe away from all the tourism and all that. They're not saying where. Somewhere underground. Yeah, I'm getting kind of a connection there. Yeah, they have some obviously Egypt, obviously, but not where the tourism is. They're not saying where, but it's just away from everything. It feels like it's underground. It's probably in the fourth dimension, but the fourth and fifth dimension, yeah. So some of these places, I don't know how they connect to it. Like there's underground, where some people, somebody, maybe they get their minds erased, something like that, but they go underground and they see like tall whites or tall Nordic beings, and they're not very friendly. And either they're just telling their agenda, talking their agenda to keep people from. Anyways, it's pretty vicious stuff. Yeah, they mean business here. I mean, almost like Nazi like. They just hate us. These beings are doing it. They just can't stand us. They feel like we're just like a child race. So they're our owners and they know what's best for us. We're kind of like a dog. We have our leash around us and they're just you know moving us around. Just like we don't mean anything. But not all beings think that way. Like the Nordic Palladian beings that are vicious to us, they know that we can be smart if we want to be, and we can actually take them down. But obviously, doing that's another story. But yeah, they know the dangers of if we start awakening that we can practically wipe some of them out, at least the ones that are causing trouble. Of course, that's not really the agenda here. It's go to war with some of these alien beings, but some people might, as we become more aware of the galactic presence that's here. Some people, you know how humans are here. I mean, they're going after Sasquatch. It's like, what does Sasquatch do to anybody? They just want to blow them away. It's like, geez. So when people become more aware of the alien presence here, who knows? When it becomes more part of our society, I was going to be in my lifetime, but I feel like some people here are going to have a vendetta against the aliens that cause all this trouble here. I mean, it's pretty obvious, isn't it? I mean, some people are going to go into higher frequencies and try to heal all this. There's other people going to be here is like, we're pissed off. But it feels like those people will be very third dimensional. It's like, it just, that their reality here is no longer going to be the same. Like, we're coming to a time where all this alien manipulation becomes more commonplace, where it becomes normal. Obviously, got a while for that, or who knows? Well, then people need evidence, and we're not getting any. But yeah, I mean, eventually there is a timeline. I don't know if it's ever going to happen, when or how or ever, if it's going to happen at all. But there is a timeline somewhere where the alien manipulation becomes known. So like people know that these beings are here in secret, causing us problems, messing with our minds, doing all this DNA shit. And some people are just gonna go rogue on these beings. So I don't know how that's gonna work. Get your shotgun or your laser weapon and go after them, but anything's possible. But either way, we're going into everything's so slow right now. So yeah, just basically tapping into this stuff. I do feel the cloning energy is very strong. Obviously, they don't go into details, but they do use their clones to keep this going. And when it's hard to tap into their energy, though, well, I guess it all depends on who you are. Obviously, some clones are politicians, celebrities, pretty obvious. And there's like a whole cloning facility out there somewhere, or facilities. and most of them are off planet. Of course, you know, we just sent a guy out in space for 5 seconds. You know, we know what we're doing. Yeah, because they're keeping us locked down, obviously. But you know, progress, at least it's some kind of progress. I mean, people think we're talking crazy here, but when you psychically tap into these things, it's too real. Yeah, it's like we're living in a science fiction movie, and I don't know, just yeah. Anything else? Anyway, I'll leave that. All right, I think that was enough. That's a lot of. That's a lot of. Yeah. All right, blessings. See you tomorrow.